Hi, first graders, it's Miss Crow. Yesterday we talked about digraphs and short vowels. We're going to review our short vowels today because afterwards I'm going to teach you a new rule for the letter A. Are you ready? Okay, I want you to tell me the short vowel that each of these vowels make. Are you ready? Yes, I says I, and when we say I, our nose wrinkles up right here, and that's how I know to use the letter I if I'm trying to spell a word. I. Nice job. Ah, short vowel for O says ah. E says eh, and we get two lines right here when we say eh. Nice job. Short U says and the short A says ah. Awesome job with your short vowels. Now we're going to talk about some long vowels. So remember that our vowels can say its short name or it can say its name, and that's a long vowel. So if we hear A in a word, it's using the long A. There's a few rules to spell the long A, but I'm going to teach you the one that you see most often today. Are you ready? Okay. Our long A rule is A consonant E says A. Now this line right here is when I say consonant, and we keep a space right here because when we're spelling, we need a letter to go in between our two vowels because the E will jump over this consonant and tell the A to say its name. Okay, so the rule is A consonant E says A. I want you to say it with Miss Crow. Are you ready? A consonant E says A. One more time. A consonant E says A. Nice job. This is our first long A rule when spelling with long vowels. We're going to do our writing on our whiteboard with our rule, or if you don't have paper and pencil or a whiteboard and a marker, you can always use your finger. And remember, when we finger spell, we put our finger on the table that we're sitting at and we write the words, even though we can't see them, because it helps our brain remember what the rule is. Are you ready? Okay. Miss Crow is going to do the first one, and then you can do the next two with Miss Crow. I already have our rule written right here to help us remember. A consonant E says A. Miss Crow is going to write the rule and say it out loud. Are you ready? A consonant E says A. All right, are you ready to join in? Okay, ready, go. A consonant E says A. Let's do it one more time together. A consonant E says A. Nice job with the rule. Now we're going to read some words that have the long A in them. And I want you to help Miss Crow sound the word out and blend it back together. Are you ready? Okay. All right, so here's our rule. Remember, it's A consonant E says A. Let's look at two words first before we get into it. So this first word right here doesn't have the E on the end. That means that the A is going to make the short vowel sound. Are you ready? Let's sound it out. Cap, cap. Nice job. That word is cap. And in the middle of the word, I hear A, apple, short A. Now, if we look at this second word, all that happened was we added an E to the end. But that E made the vowel say its name, and that's a long vowel. Do you see the pattern that we just learned? A consonant E says A. I want you to say out loud, what is the consonant that is between our two vowels? Ready? Go. Yes, the consonant is the letter P. That was where our little line was, but now we know what letter to fill it in with. Let's sound this word out together, saying the long A name. Are you ready? K-A-P. Let's do it one more time. K-A-P. Let's say the word the fast way. Cape. Nice job. A cape could be like what a superhero wears on their back. Now I hear the long A, but the E I don't hear. That's because the E is silent. All the E is there for is to tell the A to say its name. So this word is cape. Nice job. Are you ready to read some A consonant E words? Okay, let's sound this one out together. Do you remember what this digraph rule is? Yes, SH says sh. Nice job. Are you ready? Okay. Shade. Remember, we don't say the E sound because it's silent. Are you ready? Shade. Say it the fast way. Shade. Nice job. And I can hear the A, which is the long vowel, which tells Miss Crow that there must be an E on the end. Shade. Are you ready for another one? Okay. Let's sound this one out together. Eight. All right, let's practice one more time. Eight. Say the word the fast way. State. Good job. Like the state that we live in is Virginia. There's that A consonant E. And the consonant this time that we heard in state is the T. Let's try this one. Ache. Good job. Are you saying the long A's name? Awesome. Let's try it one more time. Ache. Say it the fast way. Bake. Nice job. And our consonant is a K. If it was a C, it would be a soft C and it would say, that's why we use a K when it's A consonant E. We also don't use a CK because remember CKs come after short vowels and this vowel in bake is saying its name A. Are you ready? Bake, bake. Awesome job. I'm going to tell you that this G right here is a soft G. So instead of G from your throat, it's going to say J. And the front of your mouth is where the sound J is made. It says J because it follows an E. All right, let's try it together. Age. Nice job. One more time. Age. Say it the fast way. Cage. Awesome job. All right, let's try this one. Are you ready? Aid. One more time. Aid. Say it the fast way. Made. Nice job. Now, if we took this E off, we would have mad. And add has a, the short A in the middle. This E is so important to our rule because it tells the A to say its name. All right, now I'm going to show you how you would put this A consonant E rule into sound boxes because you're going to practice that later on. So Miss Crow has a board here, and the word is plate. Can you say plate? Nice job, like a plate you eat off of. Let's count our sounds in plate. Plate. Nice job. Let's do it one more time. Are you ready? Plate. How many sounds do you hear in plate? There's only 4 sounds, but there are 5 letters. That is because our E is silent. Miss Crow's going to show you what that would look like in our boxes, and you're going to practice this after we read our story with your worksheet. Are you ready? So I already have the 4 boxes set up. Our word is plate. Plate. Are you ready? What says P? Yes, P says P. O, the L. O, A. It's a long vowel. The A said its name. So that's telling me right now that our rule we're going to use is A consonant E says A. Okay. O, A, T. Yes, the consonant was a T. Now remember, our rule is A consonant E says A. Right now this says flat, but I need the A to say its name. Yes, we are going to put the E in, but because the E is silent, it doesn't make a sound when we tap our sounds out. So it's just going to go in the box with the T. When we're spelling, we don't want to forget about all the letters, but sometimes the letters are silent, and when they're silent, they're going to sit in the sound box of the last sound that we heard. So this word is Apple ate. Good. The E told the A to say its name, and that's its only job in this word. You guys did so awesome with that. Before we get to our story today, I want to show you two sight words that you're going to see in the story. Remember, we were working on our sight words last week, and we started talking about what a heart word was. A heart word is just part of the word that we have to learn by heart, but the rest of the word makes the sounds that we would think. So we really only need to remember the heart part. All right, are you ready? This first word has a heart word. This first word is from. Can you say from? Nice job. We spell from F-R-O-M, from. I want you to take your marker and whiteboard or your pencil and paper or your finger on the table, and we're going to say it out loud as we spell it. Are you ready? F-R-O-M, from. Let's do it one more time. F-R-O-M, from. Now let's check and see if we can find the part of the word that breaks the rule. Are you ready? Yes, it sounds like it should be what letter? A U, but we spell from with an O. So this word breaks rules. But all we have to remember is that the O actually says the U sound in the word from. So what Miss Crow is going to do is put a little heart above our O to remember that it breaks a rule. So I have my heart above my O because it doesn't say ah, it says and then the M makes the sound that we would think at the end of from. All right, do you think if I mix up these letters, we could remember the order? Let's try it. I want you to just tell me out loud how to spell the word from, and I'm gonna mix up our letters and see if we can remember. Are you ready? All right, the word is from. What do you hear at the beginning? Yes. From. What do you hear next? Yes, there's the letter R, and this is an FR blend. Did you say O? You remembered the heart word part. We're going to use an O, even though it breaks a rule. What do you hear at the end of from? Nice job. And our last letter is an M. Okay, you ready for your next sight word? There's one more sight word you're going to see in this story that I want to teach you. This sight word is out. Now, OU says ow sometimes, so it is a rule following team. Are you ready? Let's spell it out loud. O-U-T, out. Are you ready to finger trace it? Okay, you can have your pencil, your marker, or your finger, and we're gonna spell the sight word out. Are you ready? O-U-T, out. Let's do it one more time. O-U-T, out. What's the word? Out. Nice job. All right, Miss Crow is going to mix it up, and we're going to see if we can remember how to spell it. Are you ready? Okay. Yes, there is an O at the beginning of out. O-U, and O-U says ow sometimes. O-U-T. Yes, O-U-T spells out. What's this word? Out. Good job. Our story today is called The Case of Jake's Escape. This is a fiction story because it has characters, a setting, a problem, and a solution. I want you to listen to this story and think about our story elements, but I also want you to be listening for words that have the long A sound. Those words probably will have the rule we learned today, which is A consonant E says A. If you hear a word that has the long A and see that it's this pattern, I want you to put a thumbs up, okay? All right. So here's our title, The Case of Jake's Escape. This has 3 words with the long A consonant E pattern, case, Jakes, and Escape. Are you ready to listen to the story? All right. Chapter 1, D&D's Detective Desk. In the summer, Dan and Dave run D&D's Detective Desk. The fact is that Dan and Dave are first rate at getting things back that are lost. So our two main characters are Dan and Dave. Do you know which character has the long A pattern in it? Yes, Dave. His name has A consonant. E says A, and it's the consonant is the V that you hear in Dave. They found John's pet snake in the cabinet under the sink. They found Abe's lost button under the drapes. They even found Mrs. Crane's jade locket hidden in the grass at the baseball game. Chapter 2, D&D's Next Case. One day, Dan and Dave were inspecting insects with their detective glasses when Mrs. Crane came running down the lane. Dan and Dave, my dog Jake has escaped. Can you help to get him back? Mrs. Crane asked as she felt the jade locket on her neck. When did Jake escape? Dan asked. I left at 10 o'clock to get coconut flakes and apricot jam. I was running a bit late, and in my haste, I made a mistake and did not lock the gate, Mrs. Crane told him. Do not panic, Mrs. Crane. D&D are on the case, Dan said as he got dressed to hunt for Jake. Mrs. Crane, one last thing. Can you tell us spots Jake likes to visit? Dave asked. The lake, the baseball games, the skating rink, and the bank, where Jake gets dog snacks from the bank teller named Kate, she told him. Chapter 3, Jake's Big Day. Dan and Dave went to the lake. They waded out to the swim instructor and asked, have you spotted a lost Great Dane named Jake? Yes, the instructor told them. We were in the middle of a lesson when all of a sudden a big dog jumped into the lake. Is he still at the lake? Dave asked. No, he ran off dripping wet. He went to the skating rink, the swim instructor told them. When Dan and Dave got to the rink, a skater was yelling, the puck, the puck. That big dog made off with the puck. Dan and Dave asked the skater what happened. A big, wet dog just ran into the middle of the face-off. He picked up the puck and ran out that exit, the skater told them. Out the exit, Dave and Dan spotted Jake's wet tracks on the pavement. He had run to the baseball game. I'm wondering if they're going to be able to catch him. At the game, the fans were yelling and jumping up and down. What happened? Dan and Dave asked the ump. The batter made a base hit when all of a sudden, a big dog ran into the game. He grabbed the baseball and ran out that gate, but he did drop this puck at home plate, the ump told them. Dan and Dave ran out the gate. There were 6 men with rakes and spades standing next to a block of wet pavement. Has a lost Great Dane run past? They asked. You bet, a man told him. That big dog ran smack dab into the middle of this wet pavement. He zigzagged in and out of the rakes and spades as if he were in a maze. Jake's tracks went into a tent in front of Jane's dress shop. Under the tent were racks of dresses and hats and jackets on sale. Dave and Dan spotted Jake. He was running under the racks. He was draped with a dress and had a hat strapped on his neck. Stop that Great Dane, they yelled. Ooh, I hope they can catch him. Chapter 4, Jake's Fan Club. Jake ran into the bank with Dan and Dave, hot on his tracks. When Dan and Dave got to him, Jake was sitting next to Kate's desk. He was dressed in a red spotted dress and a pink hat. A baseball sat on the rug next to him. Jake has been lost all day, but we found him at last, Dave told Kate. Now we can bring him back to Mrs. Crane. I will go with you, Kate said. It is the end of my day at the bank. So off they went, but first they stopped at Jake's tent sale to drop off the dress and the hat. When they told Jane Jake's tale, she wanted to visit Mrs. Crane too. I bet Mrs. Crane is going to be so happy they caught him. On their way to drop the baseball back at the game, they spotted the paving men who were just packing up. They were so glad that Jake was found. They made their way with the gang to Mrs. Crane's. The baseball game had ended, but the ump still had the puck. He went with the gang to drop the puck off at the rink. When they dropped off the puck, the gang picked up several skaters. And at the lake, they picked up several swimmers. What a fan club Jake had. Chapter 5, Jake is safe. Mrs. Crane was so glad that Jake was safe. Dan and Dave, you are first rate at getting things back that are lost, Mrs. Crane said as she hugged Jake's neck. We could not have cracked the case without the help of Jake's fan club, Dave told her as he waved to the gang. I just baked a cake, Mrs. Crane told them. Let's have it to celebrate. So Mrs. Crane cut the cake and put it on plates. It was a vanilla cake with apricot filling and coconut flake frosting, and it tasted great. Even to a big Great Dane named Jake. All right, let's look back at this page and see if we can find all of the words that have a consonant E in them. Are you ready? Thumbs up when you hear Miss Crow say it. So Mrs. Crane, yes, thumbs up. Crane has a consonant E, says A, and I hear A in the middle of the word. Cut the cake, thumbs up for cake. A consonant E is in cake. And put it on plates. Yes, there is a consonant E, says A. It was a vanilla cake, thumbs up, with apricot filling and coconut flake. Yes, flake has a consonant E, says A, and the consonant is the K that you see between the A and the E. Frosting in it tasted great. Now, tasted has a long A and great has a long A. These words are not a consonant E because there are other rules that you spell with long A. We can learn about those rules in another video. All right. Now I want to show you the worksheets that go with this video. So Miss Crow is going to show you the worksheets for day 1. Remember, you can do all of day 1, or you can pick a day that you would like to do. Are you ready to look at them? Okay. So here is day 1. The directions say read and think. First, read the text out loud with proper phrasing, then answer the question in a complete sentence. You can read this with Miss Crow. Are you ready? In the summer, Dan and Dave run D&D's detective desk. The fact is that Dan and Dave are first rate at getting things back that are lost. The question is, what have you learned about the characters and the setting that is important to the story setup? So you can either write the answer on the worksheet if you have it in front of you, or you can just write the answer on a piece of paper. Or if you don't have paper and pencil, you can tell someone in your house the answer to the question. Okay. Our next activity is spell the words. Now, Ms. Crow's going to show you one of these on a whiteboard. I'm going to show you base, but our words are Dane, base, plate, maze, and sail. If we look at Dane, remember the sounds in Dane are D-ane, so I only hear 3 sounds. That's why I only use 3 boxes. The E is silent, but it's still a letter in our spelling that we need to remember. So it's going to go in the same box as the last letter I hear, which is N. Okay, now our last activity is the turtle word strategy. Miss Crow loves these rules. So last week we learned about the rabbit rule. And remember, the rabbit rule is when you split the word between the two consonants that touch inside of our two sets of vowels. So what we're going to do today is learn about the turtle word strategy. Miss Crow's going to show you with an example on the whiteboard. And then if you see here, it wants you to use the turtle word strategy to split the word middle. Our directions say map and divide the word on the turtle word strategy map. Use the turtle word strategy checklist to help you. So the first thing in our checklist is to label the C and LE pattern. So Miss Crow's going to find the LE and the consonant before it gets the C. So Miss Crow likes to think of counting back 3. If I start at the E, I count back 3 letters, and that's where I put my C for the consonant. Then we're going to make a line before the consonant that is part of the C-L-E spelling. We're going to make a loop under each syllable. Remember, the syllable is a smaller part of the word, and it's easier to read. And once we read all the syllable parts, we can put the big word back together again, and it makes it easier to read those bigger words. The fourth step is to read each syllable, and then the fifth step is to blend the syllables to read the word. Miss Crow's going to show you that on a whiteboard. Okay. So for the first activity, after you answer the question about the two sentences, the word we saw was Dane. Miss Crow's going to show you base to help you see again how the E will go in the same box as the last sound. So our word is base. If I map it out in my boxes, I hear B, A, S. That's only 3 sounds. So our fourth box isn't going to be used, even though there are 4 letters. Are you ready? B. Yes, there's a B at the beginning of base. B, A. I hear the long A. So the rule I'm thinking of is A consonant, E says A. B, A, S. Yes, there is an S. Now we're going to put our E in the same box as our S because it's silent, but the E has to be there because it tells the A to say its name. Got it? Okay. Are you ready for our turtle strategy? All right. So the word that they want you to practice with is middle. Miss Crow's going to show you how I would divide this word. So this word is beetle. I'm going to show you using the steps on your checklist how you would split this word apart. So I know it's probably a turtle word because when I look at the word, I see that LE at the end of the word. That's telling me that I probably want to use the turtle word strategy to figure out which syllables are in this word. So if I start at the end, I see the LE. So I'm going to label the LE above the word. Now it also wants us to label the C for the consonant that touches the LE. So if I count back 3, 3, 2, 1, I land on this T. So Miss Crow likes to think LE count back 3 from the end of the word to tell me which consonant to label. So if I count back 3, I landed on the T, and I'm going to label it with a C. So consonant LE is our turtle word strategy. And the next step they told us to do was to split the word right before we get to our CLE. So Miss Crow's going to split the word by drawing a line. So now on this side of the syllable, I have 1 chunk. And on the word, I have 1 chunk. And on this side, I have my rule consonant LE. So my consonant LE should be standing by itself. And I use the line to split the word. Now it wants you to read the first syllable. Are you ready? E says E when they sit next to each other. So it's B, E, B. And then I want to read the second part of my word, toll. Now let's put it together, beetle. Nice job. You just learned how to use the turtle word strategy to split apart bigger words. into smaller syllables. Remember, it's consonant LE. And if you count back 3, 1, 2, 3, the word or the letter that you land on is going to be your consonant. We're going to split it right before that consonant letter that we labeled. You think you could try it with middle? All right. Remember, if you don't have the worksheets printed off, you can just write your answers on a piece of paper, or you can talk about them with somebody that's in your house. I had so much fun with you learning about the A consonant, E says A, long A pattern rule. And I had so much fun teaching you about the word strategy with turtle. All right, I hope you guys have a nice day. Bye-bye.